What happens when a rising NBA superstar tells one of basketball's biggest legends to bring ya ass on live television? The internet went absolutely wild when Anthony Edwards dropped that bombshell to Charles Barkley during the playoffs. But that viral moment was just the beginning of a heated war of words that's exposed some shocking truths about Edwards' game and his future in the league. The whole drama started during Minnesota's incredible playoff run when Barkley made an offhand comment about never visiting Minnesota. Edwards, fresh off a massive Game 7 victory, looked straight into the camera and said, "Bring ya ass," with the kind of confidence that made every basketball fan's jaw drop. The moment instantly went viral, spawning tourism campaigns and merchandise. But it also marked the beginning of something much deeper between these two basketball personalities. But here's where things get really interesting. Edwards had already stirred up massive controversy earlier with some explosive comments about NBA legends that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. During an interview, he claimed that players from Michael Jordan's era had no skill except for MJ himself, saying, "I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill." The basketball community erupted, with legends and analysts losing their minds over what many called disrespectful and ignorant statements from the young star. Barkley wasn't having any of it and decided to fire back with some brutal honesty that caught everyone off guard. Chuck went on inside the NBA and delivered a scathing assessment, claiming that Edwards had actually regressed as a player. "Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, has regressed because he's taken too many threes, way too many," Barkley stated with his trademark bluntness. He argued that Edwards was becoming too comfortable settling for outside shots instead of using his explosive athleticism to attack the rim like he did during his breakout season. The criticism didn't stop there. Barkley took direct aim at the constant Michael Jordan comparisons that follow Edwards everywhere, and his comments were loaded with implications that sparked even more debate. Close to who? They're both black. He's not close to Michael Jordan, Barkley said, essentially arguing that the comparisons were surface level and insulting to Jordan's legacy. The statement created massive buzz online, with fans divided over whether Barkley was making a valid point or crossing a line with his delivery. Edwards' response was classic ant. He let his game do the talking instead of engaging in a war of words. Rather than firing back on social media or in interviews, he went out and had some of his best performances of the season, including monster games that reminded everyone why he's considered a future superstar. His approach earned respect from teammates and coaches, with many praising his maturity in handling criticism from a Hall of Famer. However, the drama surrounding Edwards goes much deeper than just his beef with Barkley. Rumors have been swirling about everything from trade speculation to personal controversies that have kept his name in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. There's been buzz about potential moves to bigger markets, whispers about locker room dynamics, and speculation about whether Minnesota can actually build a championship team around him. Some analysts have even suggested that Edwards might be getting restless in Minneapolis, though he's publicly committed to the franchise. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is Barkley's track record of calling out rising stars, who he believes are getting too much hype too soon. Chuck has a history of being brutally honest about young players, sometimes to their benefit and sometimes creating unnecessary drama. His criticism of Edwards fits a pattern where he challenges players he sees potential in, pushing them to reach higher levels rather than settling for mediocrity. The real question now is whether Edwards can silence the doubters and prove that he's truly the next big thing in the NBA. His talent is undeniable. He's got the athleticism, the scoring ability, and the charisma that superstars are made of. But Barkley's criticism about his shot selection and approach to the game touches on legitimate concerns about his development. Can Edwards find the right balance between being an efficient scorer and the explosive highlight machine that first captured everyone's attention? As this saga continues to unfold, one thing is clear. The relationship between Edwards and Barkley has become one of the most compelling storylines in basketball. Whether it's Edwards proving Chuck wrong with dominant performances, or Barkley Continuing to push buttons with his commentary, their ongoing back and forth has created must-see television and sparked debates that go far beyond just basketball. The bring ya ass moment might have started as a joke, but it's evolved into something that could define how we view both Edwards' rise to superstardom and Barkley's role as the NBA's most provocative analyst.